Hey everybody, I just want to check that I'm live. Should have brought my phone. It says it's starting. I apologize if I'm waiting. Oh, good. Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to talk about workouts. I've had a couple questions come in, so hopefully this will help you guys too if you've had the same questions. Let's unpack today's session. So, with your workouts, first of all, safety is priority. If you feel pain in your joints, you need to stop that movement and contact your coach. So, anything in the shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, you want to continue doing that exercise. Let your coach know. Also important is to warm up 2 or 3 minutes. Now, you can choose a cardio to warm up. It's not my favorite if you're picking the treadmill because the treadmill is going to warm up your lower body, of course. But if you're doing shoulder presses and stuff, your upper body's not really engaged unless you're really going to walk fast. And I would suggest you do really engage the upper body to warm that up too. An elliptical will do more because you've got your arms, or rowing would do more to get that upper body. My favorite is to do like a little 2 rounds of 10 squats, get your legs, 5 walkouts, or inchworms are also called, to get your shoulders, your core, and then arm circles, 10 both directions, 2 rounds, 2 or 3 rounds to warm up that body. If you're doing heavy lifting, um, then I would suggest you do 2 or 3 working sets. If you saw my post yesterday where I was lifting heavy deadlifts, I did the empty bar, 45 pounds for 10, and then added, I don't know, 10 or 20 pounds, another 10, and go up to 8, and slowly work up to your heavy lift of 5 or 3. Compound movement, I use a lot. The coaches use a lot of compound movements because they're very effective. So compound movement engages many muscles at the same time, like the squat, deadlift, presses, rows. Typically, that's the only type of workouts I do for myself, and it's typically the only ones I program, other than some core work at the top of the program. So when you're doing compound movements, you are going to work your arms and you're going to work your core if you're doing it properly, because especially if you're lifting to challenge your body. So you want to keep your posture tall. You don't want to round over. I see people in the gym like rows, they're rounded over the bench. They're swinging the dumbbell way up. That's not proper technique. That is not how you're going to build muscle. So you're tall, the shoulders are down away from your ears and pulled back. Your core is braced like someone's going to punch you in the stomach. Um, and you do that setup for any deadlift, any squat, any press. The posture is super important, always the same, and you'll work your core when you do that. I often get people asking me to add abs and add arms, and I do reluctantly, if I'm perfectly transparent, because now I always put a core set somewhere in the workout, usually at the top. But to add more is not going to burn off fat and make you lean. Like, I get the look you want, but we can't spot reduce fat. So doing a bunch of crunches is not going to show your abs. Doing bicep curls is not going to show your biceps. The biceps and triceps are very small muscle groups, so they're not very metabolically demanding. You're not going to burn a lot of calories. You need an overall fat loss plan, which includes your diet, cardio, and strength training, particularly those compound movements. Compound movements are super metabolically demanding. I'll lift heavy deadlifts, and it feels like my heart rate will go up to 140, right? Feels like cardio. I did want to make a comment. What was on my thought about arms? Oh yeah. Okay, so I never work arms. If you were getting on a stage in a bodybuilding competition, I might work them. But anytime you do a press movement, chest press, you are working your triceps, particularly if it's heavy. Anytime you do a row, you're working your biceps. So we really don't need to spend, and many people are super busy, so the arm workout in particular is not an effective use of your time, in my opinion. Again, core we need. I put at least one movement in the exercise. If you're doing the work, you don't need extra. If you're doing the movement, I want to correct myself. If you're doing the movement properly, like the squat and the deadlift, you don't need additional core because every movement should be working your core, stabilizing you. One leg stuff works your core big time. I love unilateral or one leg work exercises. Okay, let's talk about rep range. So, the most important part of your workout is the rep range. And so your coaches know that when you're, and you probably know this too, when you're working in different rep ranges, it works the muscles differently. There's a different goal. So if you're in a high rep range, like 12, 15, and above, that's muscular endurance. If you're 8 to 12, that's the sweet spot, according to Charles Poliquin, for building muscle and burning fat. I do a lot in the 8 to 12. Under 8, you're building strength and power. Regardless of your rep range, you should follow that. Like if there's a range that your coach has given you, like say it goes from 10 to 20, you can ask which one would suit you, like which target would suit you better. But regardless of your target, the last 2 to 3 should be challenging. If they're not challenging, you will not change your body. Now, we do want to stay safe. So the last 2 to 3, you should be able to keep proper form. It should look really good, but it should be a struggle to get that weight over your head or off the ground, whatever you're doing. So I had a question from somebody, what do you do if you don't have enough weight? So here are some options that I thought of. And if you guys think of more, go ahead and put it in the comments. So of course you can buy more weight. I know iron's expensive, but you can get used weight, sometimes pretty good price. You can get a gym membership because you'll have the access to everything, of course. Bands are very versatile and you can change the resistance on the band. I will post a little video clip in the comments that illustrates how to change the resistance, but basically you move your hand down. So say you're doing presses with your band, right? And you're stepping on one side. If you grab the band further down, like say you've got your handles, so ignore your handle, grab the band further down and it will add resistance. It's harder to track, but still effective. You can double up. So if you've got 2 light weights, say you've got a 2 and a 3, 2 and a 5, you could hold both of them, crisscross them, and hold them at the X, and now you have 7. You've done that. You can also double your weight and your band to add more resistance. Again, harder to track. It's not as comfortable as having a full set of weights, but it is effective. All right. The other thing that's important and relates to the rep range is the perceived rate of exertion, or PRE. So it's on a scale of 0 to 10. 0 is like no effort, like could do this all day sitting on the couch. 10 is I cannot lift one more, I cannot do one more rep, I cannot add any weight. So your first set should be about a 7. Your second and subsequent sets should be closer to 8, and that ties in with that last 2 reps being a challenge, but keeping good form. Your last set, if you're comfortable, shoot to a 9 and really challenge yourself. And of course, record all the weights and track it so you know what you did the following week. All right, gonna jump into fuel. If you're eating before the workout, 1 to 2 hours is best, like a normal meal. If you need to eat right before because of scheduling or whatever, I have found the best pre-workout meal is yogurt with a little bit of berries maybe. It's got a good carb protein balance, provided you're not dairy intolerant. During the workout, I always use BCAAs. It will help with recovery, or EAAs. Helps with recovery, helps with soreness, helps with energy. It's a game changer. I use it every time I train. And then post-workout, your first meal after your workout should be the biggest meal of the day. Carbs are mandatory. Protein is mandatory. An hour, 2 hours latest after the workout. Fat is optional. So you're aiming for typically, 24 grams of protein, 24 grams of carbohydrate in that post workout meal. With respect to scheduling, Paula talked about this in the kickoff meeting. Go ahead and reschedule those workouts to suit you. So on Sunday, I would have you guys look ahead, as Paula instructed, and move them to where they're going to fit with your schedule. Um, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. If you have any questions, post it in the comments and tag me so I don't miss it. Go ahead and add anything you think I may have missed, any questions you have. I would love to hear your comments. I hope it helps somebody. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.